I have quite a bit of scraping to do on these tabletops. There are two tops here for the folding table that have this inlay of banding, and I will need to flatten all that with scrapers and files and so on. So I usually stack up my scrapers for sharpening. Let me show you how I manage that. And I've got a second cut file here, that's the first thing, and I can see how rough that face is because I've got some pretty good lighting up there, and when I can see those rough places just fade away with the filing. And then after filing, that leaves some file marks. I like to knock that back with a stone. You could use a diamond, use anything, but I just want to knock out some of those file marks, giving a smooth, flat surface there. And I turn that over and do the other side while I'm at it. And hone that down a little bit. That gets a polished surface on the one face, but I need a polished surface on the other faces. So I hold it down here on the flat on the table, and then I have a little stone here. This is a man-made stone. I like little stones, maybe also like this. This is a natural stone of some type, and I like a little stone because I want a lot of pressure in a little area. There's a burr on there from filing, but I want to get that off, and I want to polish that surface. That knocks that burr off pretty quickly and polishes the surface a little bit. This is a pretty rough stone. I'm not worried about that. It doesn't have to be a fine stone. You need something that you can really get the pressure down on there to knock off any burr. You can test it to see how you're doing. And if you do this and pick it up and feel any burr, then something's not working right. You need to knock that off. Now the last step then is putting the burr back on. And I just hang it over the edge of the bench about 3/8 of an inch or so, and then burnish this perpendicular for a little bit, and then I start to angle up. I don't know what angle that is, but that's done, and that's got a nice burr on it. That'll work. And I start it flat. There's oil on there that I think helps lubricate it a little bit. I don't have to push very hard. And the last face, and that's it. I'll wipe it off and it's ready to use. And I'll stack these up maybe 4 or 5 at a time. I've got 2 already here. Let me move the camera over and let's try this out and see how this is working. Okay, about like that maybe. And it's a lot of glue on here, hot hide glue, and the banding's proud of the surface. So I've got to get that banding down to the mahogany surface, and I want both of these tabletops to match, because normally they sit together like this, and then when you use it as a card table, this hinges out and creates a double-sized table. So that's the way I like to have. And this is a skinny one. I've got fatter ones here. I like to have both options. And usually when I'm using a fatter one, that's in the rougher areas. And then later on I switch to the finer one. But there's still a ways to go. You can see where the glue is the white. And I'll scrape this until all that white is gone.